Hey, what's up, 7th grade? This is lesson 11. Our objective is how do you solve word problems about combining and separating. And there's a whole bunch of different kinds of word problems, but they can kind of be grouped into different categories on how you solve them. And the two we're studying about today we call combining and also separating. And so the basic idea on combining is that you have sum, you're going to add some more to that, and then you're going to equal the total. So we can kind of summarize that. S plus M is equal to T. The other kind that we're studying today is called separating. So you have a beginning amount, you take some away from that, and then you get what remains. So this is the beginning minus some away equals what remains. So as we go through these, we're going to kind of determine if they're going to be combining or if they're separating. And then we'll see about using this equation and solving them. So here's the first one. It says Rover, a St. Bernard, and Spot, an English sheepdog, together weigh 213 pounds. Rover weighs 118 pounds. How much did Spot weigh? So what we're going to do, first of all, is that it looks like we have some, and then some more, and it says together they weigh this amount. So this is going to be a combining. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use some letters here. I'm going to say Rover, just say R, plus what Spot weighs is going to be the total. Okay, so let's see if we can fill in numbers. This says together they weigh 213 pounds. This is going to be my total. And then this says Rover weighs 118, so this is going to be my R. So I'm going to say 118 plus however much Spot weighs is going to equal to 213. So now to solve this, I need to get that S by itself. Right now, S has S plus 118, so the opposite of adding is going to be subtracting that 118. 118 minus 118 on the left-hand side becomes 0, so I just have 0 plus S, or simply S. And if I subtract 118 from one side, I must do that from the other. To borrow from here, 11, 10, 13, so 5, 9. So S is equal to 95. But I'm not going to leave my answer like that because I need to answer the question that they asked. How much did Spot weigh? So I'm going to say Spot weighs 95 pounds. Alright, here's 3 more. They don't have a lot of space right next to them, so I'm going to work in space down here. So this B, I'm going to work in red. It says, Don cranked for a number of turns. Then Tim gave the crank 216 turns. If the total number of turns was 400, how many turns did Don give the crank? So notice I have Don cranked, then Tim cranked, and then it says a total. So this is going to be another combination there, combining. So I'm going to say how many Don cranked plus how many Tim cranked is going to be the total. So it says Tim gave, so this is going to be my capital T, and then my total number is going to be 400. So let's see if I can fill this in. It's going to be D plus 216 is equal to 400. So subtract that 216. Now I would get D is equal to, borrow 184 turns. Okay. C I'm going to be doing in blue. says there were 254 horses in the north corral yesterday. The rancher moved some of the horses to the south corral. Only 126 horses remained in the north corral. How many horses were moved to the south corral? So, notice I had some, they moved some, and now there's a smaller number. So this is going to be a separation. So I'm going to have the north corral minus the south corral is going to equal the remaining amount in the north corral. So this says there were 254 in the north corral. It says horses in the north corral. The rancher moved some horses to the south corral. We don't know how many. Only 126 horses remain in the north corral. So maybe 126 still remain in the north corral. This is an S. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract the 254 from both sides. It's kind of strange to do, so I'm going to say 254 minus the 126. 8 to 128. But since I said the smaller number minus the bigger number, it's going to be negative, so I have negative S is equal to negative 128. So that means S is 128. Let's make sure we answer. How many horses were moved to the south corral? So I'm going to say 128 horses. Last but not least, I'm going to use green here for letter D. Cynthia had a lot of paper. After using 36 sheets for a report, only 165 sheets remained. How many sheets of paper did she have at first? So she had some starting amount. I'll say at the beginning. She subtracted some for a report. I'll say big R. And then she has some that remains. So this 36 is for the report. And then she said, after using this many, only this many sheets remain. So this is going to be my R. So I have big B minus 36 is going to give me that 164. Since 36 is being subtracted from B, I'm going to say plus 36. That's going to be 0, carry the 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, carry the 1. 200 sheets of paper. Alright, if you haven't noticed your homework over here on the side, it's going to start on page 79. You can do all of them in lesson 11, all of them in lesson 10, and then 11 more of your choice.